103%. That's the percentage of the population in the US that has a cell phone. You heard me right. There are over 300 million active cell phone plans in the US right now. Obviously, some people have 2 or 3 cell phones, and some may just be emergency phones, but you know that cell phones rule. 67%. According to a recent survey, that's the percentage of adults now preferring texting as a form of communication over phone calls. Look, I know it's called a mobile phone, and maybe that's what makes it so strange. The device that was designed for voice conversations is being used more for sending text. But one thing I learned early on in my business career was, don't argue with facts, use them to reach your goals. A couple years ago, I was intrigued by the idea that I could capture leads using texting, so I decided to run a very costly experiment. I paid $5,000 to have a booth at a convention. It was a relatively tech-savvy group of entrepreneurs, and I decided to use texting exclusively as my means of generating leads. I had the opportunity to talk to one group at the convention for 10 minutes and then ask them to text a keyword followed by their first name and email address to a 6-digit shortcode. I was able to show a slide that illustrated exactly what to do. It is just like this. I said, text OCUS, O-C-U-S, your name and email address to 411-24/7. I saw the audience get their phones out and attempt to follow my instructions. I was able to get 20% of the room to text in. About half of those did it correctly. Later, we developed our SMS integration for Infusionsoft. I had a chance to run another experiment, this time with a phone number. I spoke to the audience and I showed a slide, just like I had done before, except for this is what I asked them to do. I said, text your limitation to 760-332-8977. 97% of the room participated in my SMS conversation. I ended up with 84% of the room giving me their name, email, and cell phone number. But what was even more important was 97% also told me their biggest hot button. Phone numbers won big time. I was surprised by a couple things as I compared these two experiments. First, short codes, 5 or 6-digit numbers, didn't make sense to most of the audience. They're familiar with regular phone numbers, and something's just wrong about a 6-digit number. I had more than a few come up and ask me for the rest of the number. Now bear in mind that this convention was using the exact same 6-digit short code during the entire convention to give away prizes and broadcast announcements. The second thing I noticed was this. We can't handle more than one thing at a time. Believe it or not, asking them to enter a keyword, then their own first name and their email address turned out to be too confusing for many in the room. I received a number of texts with my sample first name and email address in the text. I knew the folks in the audience were not morons, although I started to have my doubts. So why was it so hard? Quite simply, we're not wired to follow complicated instructions that are introduced to us as quickly as a marketing message comes at us. So if all of what I've shared with you is accurate, how's anyone making money with SMS marketing? Well, the answer is most have settled. They've settled for creating a one-dimensional list. They have settled for only capturing those who get short codes, and they have settled for sharing their reputation with other businesses who use the same short code as them, as well as sharing the reputation of those other businesses. I mean, do you really want to share a short code with a fast food joint? What's more, other SMS solutions not only expect you to settle on how you can use SMS, they want to limit your access to keywords too. Because of how short codes work, you have to share a very limited pool of keywords available on that short code with every other company using the short code. So if you want the keyword sale, there would have been a good chance you couldn't get it. I remember requesting keywords on a short code and only having 2 of the 10 that I requested be available. These were words like sale, promo, offer, special, new, discount, and SMS. They were all used. I was out of luck. With Fix Your Funnel, you never have that problem. Why? 750,000. That's the number of words in the English language that you can use as keywords with your phone number. And if you want to use the same keyword in 2 different ways, you simply pick up another phone number for less than adding a couple short code keywords. But what if you don't want to use a keyword? What if you want to ask prospects to tell you what they really want so you can know how to help them? With Fix Your Funnel, you can. Let me show you how these automated conversations work. You can start a conversation with a keyword or an open-ended question. Using our multi-step process, you can gather much more than just cell phone numbers. You can merge in any data you have from Infusionsoft for that contact record. I like to merge data I've collected in other steps of the conversations. And you can gather more than just cell phone numbers. You can ask questions and have your prospects answer them and have that inserted into their contact record. And what's more, at each step of the conversation, you can apply a tag, opening up the full automation possibilities of Infusionsoft. You can create conversations that are 1 step or 100 steps. Your imagination and what the prospect will do are your only limitations. And I'd like to invite you to try it out. I'm going to ask you to tell me how you'd like to use SMS. I'm not going to try and tell you what you can tell me, meaning no keywords. You just text in to 760-621-8477 and tell me how you'd like to use SMS. Then I'm going to ask you for your name and email address. If you share your name and your email address, I'm going to send you a report with 21 ways folks are using SMS today for everything from marketing to customer support. Welcome to the future. You now have new rules to play by, rules that allow you to truly tap into the real power of mobile marketing.